Alright guys, I was just listening to the latest audio, the Gene Key 41. And I just wanted to say that most of the times I'm quoting here things from the original audio from Richard Rudd, and this is my way of inviting you to go listen to it. So, and you are able to find it in genekeys.com. This gene key, it goes from the shadow of fantasy to the gift of anticipation and to the city of emanation. And on the fantasy, on the shadow of fantasy, he speaks about letting go of our plans. And he goes, our lives are often dominated by our unconscious fantasies. The marriage, the perfect partner dream, the money dream, the power dream, the enlightenment dream, they all haunt our inner lives, and one by one they will be crushed by life. This is why plans can be dangerous. You can plan things, but you must hold lightly to the plan, because change is all around, and death is a part of life, and it may intervene at any moment. The problem is really in our own minds. Our minds love to dream and to hope. And he continues, he says, all these people dreaming of a better life, with more money and winning the lottery, fantasizing how it can be better if, and that if is the killer. If is the fuel of our fantasies. And wherever you have an if, there you will suffer. And over the course of our lives, our ifs, one by one, they will fall away, whether we struggle or whether we let go graciously. The result is the same. We all live as we came, empty. But that emptiness, it can be filled, but not with any achievement, not with any form of the world. It can be filled with love, with connection, with joy. And that's surely the key here. So consider your ifs and your fantasies about the future. It gets better. Anticipation, the gift. And he speaks about that fantasy can be used as a fuel when used correctly. And he shares this question that he asks to him often, that is, what is there that we humans can create that truly lasts? Because everything we build decays, every building crumbles, laws and rules fail, empires fall, and even art and music becomes lost with time. So is there anything that we do that lasts? And he was able to come up with two things: children and stories. Children, we go on creating, and yes, they grow up, but then they create more of themselves. So there is gonna always be children. And stories last the test of time. Songs may be the way that they are delivered, or poetry, but the thing that endures is the tale. And there is stories in the world that are as old as we are. And there are stories and myths that are here since the beginning, since we can talk. So what's your story? What's your place within the fabric of destiny? The story bypasses our logical brain and goes directly to our core as children. Is often the first thing we learn, and as old people is often the last thing that we consider. How was our story? Stories are holistic and transcendent. They smash down walls and boundaries and divisions, and they even transcend language. He goes on to the city. In the city, he speaks about the tarot card of the fool. And he shares this. The fool realizes enlightenment in immortality, and he remains the fool because he attains his or her realization through knowing nothing. But this nothing at the end is very different from the nothing at the beginning. And then he continues and he shares this bit that is very powerful, and I hope that I can share with you. One day we will return to our immortal nature. We will come to the end of our human evolution, and on that day the tale will end. Outside of time, there are no longer any stories. And when there is no stories, there is no need for children either. And that's where the two come together. So allow yourself to be a child. And don't forget that this will end well. No matter what's going on in the world or in your life, it's gonna end well. And if it doesn't appear to, it's because you're still in the part of the story that is working up in the drama. But one day though, one day, your dreams will all come true. And all those you loved will become merged within your own heart. And you will realize that you never died and they never died. It's all being the most wonderful dream. And the greatest paradox is that if you haven't been asleep in the first place, you'd never even heard it.